All right, if you're looking for for ball mastery, tackling, and speed work, there's a few options, right? There's a few things that you could do to help your kids grow and develop, or your son, right? U9 son. Also, the first is to take a soccer vacation, and all that means is buying a size 1 ball in particular. Just pick this ball up from Target, and the beauty is that if you bring this ball with you everywhere you go, then what you're doing is you're using the monkey see, monkey do technique, right? It's your kid will understand, will start to value, right? He's going to emulate, in theory. He will value this practice. If you bring the ball with you, then he'll start to say, "Oh, okay, my mom or dad is bringing the ball with them everywhere they go. Maybe I can, maybe this is something that I could start to do." Because you'll notice that with a size 1 ball, it's harder to manipulate. It's harder to manipulate than a size 5. And so what this is going to do is going to give him a competitive advantage. What it'll also do is it'll increase the volume of touches. If you have the ball on you, don't even tell him to bring it with him everywhere he goes. If you bring it with you everywhere you go, then you and him can start to just go back and forth, right? On bottom of the foot, right, back, left foot, right foot, as close, even closer than I am to this camera, right? In arm's length, just go back and forth, right? Toes, insides, toe poke, right? Bottom of the foot, outsides. Just have fun with it. If you can, right? My parents, I talk about this a lot. My parents, I was blessed. They brought me to every skills camp, soccer camps, traveling all around the world. But one thing that I reflect back on is that we and both my parents were athletic. We could have really created a lot of joy between ourselves just by bringing a ball with us everywhere where we go, right? Then what you can start to do is you can start to learn how to juggle, right? If you yourself learn how to juggle, and even bouncy ball, tennis ball, volleyball, right? Anything you get your hands on, then what you're gonna do is you can start to create, it's like holidays, weekends, vacations, birthdays, everywhere you go, it could just be fun going back and forth. And maybe you have a bad back, maybe you got a bad ankle, maybe there's something that's going to prevent you from that's stopping you mentally, saying, "Oh, well, I could never get to a point where I could juggle with my kids." But I would say we could work on that, Les. We could work on that, right? So maybe reach out if there's anything that's preventing you from even starting that juggling practice. But regardless, so I would say question number 1 is, can I bring a ball with me everywhere I go? Because this is going to teach your son or daughter the practice that bringing a ball with them everywhere they go is something worthwhile. It's a valuable practice. Okay. Number 2. If you live in the Princeton area, then one of the first things that came to mind was, can I reach out to the head men's soccer coach, the head women's soccer coach, and say, "Hey, is there a skills and drills trainer in the Princeton area? Is there someone on the team who'd be willing to give my son or daughter an hour training session, just to teach them some fundamentals? Can I come watch a practice?" Because what this is going to start to do is it's going to, right, the more coaches that your son or daughter interacts with, then they'll be able to pick out, then they're going to start to create their own daily training routine, right? Their own warm-up skills practice, right? So let's say you go to 2 different coaches, right? You go to one of the coaches from Princeton, and then let's say you go to another, maybe there's another skills and drills coach in the area. Then your son or daughter could say, "Well, I like the way this coach did their warm-up," and then they could, maybe they say, "I like the way that this coach did their juggling sequences," something like that, right? So the more, right? So they're going to begin to have a better understanding of what a great warm up and a great skills routine that focus on the fundamentals looks like. So that's another option. Right, who are people who would know? You got to reach out, right? You could argue that Princeton, the school, would know, would give you has some idea of who great players are, or skills coaches are. And I'm sure, even, kids are, you think of college kids maybe have not that much cash. I'm sure one of them would be happy to show your son or daughter the fundamentals, right? Some simple dribbling sequences, juggling sequences, some fun stuff. So that's an option. Step number 3, or question number 3. Question number 3 is, can I invest in an SKLZ solo kick trainer? And I say this one in particular because I've tested a lot of kick trainers. There's balls that have a bungee, have a handheld and a bungee. There's balls that are kind of more are bigger, and I like the SKLZ solo kick trainer because it's small, it's cheap, right? It's lightweight, it's portable, and you could beat it up, right? I would throw it to my old dog, who'd go chase it. So this is a great ball because with a kick trainer, you could cram months of training into days or weeks. Right, it's great for young players because there's no you don't have to chase it if you miss hit the ball. You get immediate feedback, right? You kick it comes right back around, and if you miss hit it, you could immediately self-correct. So it really right, in 60 seconds you could get close to 60 touches, which means in 10 to 15 minutes of kicking this ball on a rope, you get close to 1,000 touches in 15 minutes. Right, I think it comes out to 900 touches in 15 minutes. So again, same thing with the kick trainer. You want to start to bring, if possible, unless you got some type of handicap or you're in a wheelchair or crutches or something, you want to start to bring this with you everywhere you go and use it yourself. Because if you just put it into your kids' hands, they don't know they have no mental model of how to use it or what joyous play looks like. So with the ball and a rope, you want to set it to your kids. You set it to their height, right? So the height of this kick trainer should be from the hip bone to their ankle bone. So you set it to their height, but you use it, right? You get a lot of touches, breathing, right foot, left foot, alternating, insides, laces, outsides, toes, shins, right? Just get a lot of touches so that you start to begin to, right? As a parent, you begin to develop an awareness of where the ball is going to go as it leaves your body. And this is teaching your kids without words. It's a monkey see, monkey do technique. In regards to speed and tackling, right? Speed tackling. There is a tool that's called an RMT rope. An RMT rope, it's a variation of a jump rope. But why it's so powerful is because it's lightweight, it's portable and cheap. As you swing the rope in circles, imagine a jump rope, right? If you have a jump rope in your hands, if you start to swing, you don't even have to leave the ground, right? Jump rope, you start from behind and you jump through it. With an RMT rope or a jump rope, what you do is you start to swing it with your hands. And why this is great for speed or just for movement or for rehab or for balance is because your body's connected from fingers to toes. So right, a lot of soccer players don't understand how important their hands are for generating power, right? So for that reason, if you start to show, again, this is a pattern, right? It's do first so that you could teach. If you learn how to do it, then you could teach it more effectively. If you just tell your kids to do something, right, they might do it, but you want to start to show them what is valuable through action. So as you swing this rope in your hands, get into one-legged balance. You could swing low. You swing it high. It's an effortless way to develop speed anywhere you are in the world, all the time. Right? I literally I'm gonna buy one at the hardware store because I made poor choices last night, and I left my rope at the hotel. and my buddy has it, so I'm not being a good ambassador of the rope. But regardless, the whole point is, for $10, you buy a piece of rope as long as your kid is tall. So if your kid is 5 feet tall, or let's say your kid's if he's 9 years old, let's say he's 4 feet 8 inches tall. You get a 5 foot length of rope, soft piece of rope, doesn't matter what diameter, right? Maybe as thick as a quarter or whatever, and then you start to swing. You could tie a knot at the end, or you duct tape the ends so the rope doesn't fray, and then you just swing it in a circle. And at first your son or daughter they'll say, "What are you doing, Mom?" or "What are you doing, Dad?" But then they'll start to see, as you swing it, right, your movement, you start to have an awareness of your body, and then you're going to start to feel, you're going to start to really get in touch with your body, and so you'll be on the soccer field, and your kid's going to start to become more nimble and more dynamic as they begin to master different patterns, as they start to feel how it feels to feel. Right, the rope allows you to feel your body in an effortless way, and it's a physical object that the rope becomes a teacher. Right, so that's why it's so powerful. You don't need speed. Right, it's not like Parisi Speed School when they're trying to load up these kids with heavy squats or heavy deadlifts, or they burn them out in a 15-minute warm up, and then it's just like a couple sprints, and then there's nothing learned and there's nothing gained, right? Parisi Speed School, man. There's maybe some schools are better than others, but the whole point is with $10, you could bring this rope. It's almost like having a soccer gym in your pocket. You bring with you everywhere in the world. Powerful, man. Powerful. It's so simple. It's so simple. So those are the 4 questions. Can I make or invest in an RMT rope for myself, but set at my kid's height, right? So it doesn't matter if you're 6 foot tall, if your kid's 4 feet and change, you want to buy the rope for your kid's height, so that when they pick it up, it's conducive for them to use, even though it's not at your correct height. You want to be the teacher, right? So can I invest or make an RMT rope? Then it's, can I invest or make an SKLZ solo kick trainer? It costs about $25, maybe $26 on Amazon. You get one at Walmart, or you just make one yourself. A length of rope as long as your hip bone to your ankle bone, and then a size 1 ball. You could duct tape a piece of rope to a size 1 ball. Boom, kick trainer. Question number 3 is, can I reach out to the Princeton head coach of women's soccer or men's soccer and say, is there, who's a great skills trainer, or can I spend an hour with watching, or is there someone on the team who'd be willing to do it? I'm sure if I was a college player, my coach asked me if I want to, or when I was a college player, if my coach said that there's a local player who's looking to work on some skills and drills, fundamentals, I would jump at that opportunity. Especially, make a little, some money earn some money as a college student. I think anyone would love to do that. And question 1 is size 1 ball, right? Can I take a soccer vacation? Can you bring a ball with you everywhere you go, so that your kids will just by osmosis, or by, assimilation? I don't know. They're just gonna understand that by bringing a ball with them everywhere they go, right? More touches, right? More touches. Increase the volume of touches, more mistakes, more mistakes leads to more learning. So hopefully this helps. Reach out with any questions, 508-505-1180.